Hello, it's me again. Yay! So today, I would love to, along with my cup of walnut milk, I am going to respond to some comments that I selected out of all of them. But every comment, I love it. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting and sharing and expressing how you feel about the world and your thoughts, your opinions. It's all very, very interesting to me. Really. Like, I actually learned a lot from you guys, and I selected 19 comments out of all of them. Not because, how should I say? Not because I favor this this viewer more or not. It's because I find it very interesting that I would love to extend on kind of like a more like a conversation, as anchoring from that comment. So that's why I want to share it. Okay. And so let me have a sip first. And so this is also actually my gratitude note to the entire community. Thank you, everybody. You have been an immense support to me, and maybe vice versa. But all in all, it's a very beautiful experience for me to have met you all here virtually. On this virtual platform, and it's my honor and my pleasure to be interacting with you all, even though I don't reply to your comments actively, which I would actually talk about it as responding to one of the comments, and I will let you know why, like how I actually think, like my thought process on it, why I don't actively reply. So yeah, okay, here we start. All right. Okay, let me take one more sip before. That being said, let's start. I took my time to enjoy my walnut milk. Anyways, so for the sake of the privacy of everyone, I actually crossed out I think it's the handle. Yeah, the handle of of those who comment. Okay, some of them I would actually even cross out the profile picture, because some of them have their actual faces on it. Okay, like how they actually look. So for the privacy sake, I actually cross them all out. But in a way that if you happen to be watching this video and you happen to have actually comment one of the comments that I am gonna talk about, you would be able to recognize yourself. Okay, like that's the point of view of how I actually cross it out. Okay, so I'm still being able to call out your name, but at the same time you would also be able to have your privacy and you can also recognize yourself. Okay, so this one is by Snake. Snake. Okay, so this one is like, I saw this comment and I'm like, that's actually very interesting, because even though I do hold a slightly different perspective on disliking humanity, but I actually see your point. Okay, I'm gonna say your point. It's because I'm responding, right? I'm actually gonna be into like a conversation. So this was like my biggest challenge seems to be to love humanity as a whole, but I continue to see them as herd animals. Reactive. Oh, that's so real. Like, as in how you express it is so real. It's so funny, but yeah, I totally understand. Reactive to different trends. Yeah, like the bandwagon, right? Bandwagon effect. Almost sheepish, if you will. And I see corruption and greed are ascendant and almost part of human nature. Yes, we are multifaceted, and it's possible for us to dislike humanity while we like certain individuals. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I totally see it as a very fair perspective, and I totally respect, and I understand. Um, I personally, um, I personally, I would say it's a personal choice for me because as in loving humanity, I choose to love humanity as a whole. Um, to me, it's a personal choice because um, I I think it also relates to unconditional love because I'm like I subscribe to unconditional love, which there would be another comment that's about unconditional love later that I would also respond to. And for this one, it to me is also about unconditional love because it is true that people see corruption. No, it's true that you see corruption and greed are ascendant and almost part of human nature. I actually do agree because we are very multifaceted individuals, and that's what it is true as well. That I totally agree, and that we all have, the shadow side and the lighter side. And I see that as more like like reconciling the opposite forces, which is dark and light, or say shadow side and light attributes. To me, that's kind of like the non-dualistic pathway where we reconciling both sides, um, polarity, and that's the third pathway, which is non-dualistic point of view that is very neutral in a way. And how I feel is when I see anything from a very neutral perspective, I understand both sides, like both the polarity, and so I would not even judge because of that, because it's through understanding I come to see from people's point of view, and then I would understand what it is that, like, why they would see it that way and how they feel. And I think that is very is such an intrinsic element or quality in each of us actually, but I think it takes time for us to shed off, like shed all the dirt that is being placed on us layer by layer because of society. Like, it's not anyone to be blamed. It's really about the entire construct has been quite downward spiraling, but now we are all kind of being more and more aware of the things happening and what we have been doing as a collective. So it takes time for us all to shed. And as we shed, we would then realize we're actually quite neutral, like every one of us. I mean, that's how I see it presently. So, and I totally agree that it's possible for us to dislike humanity while we like certain individuals. Yes, it is very much possible, and I totally understand and respect that. Yeah, because it's more of a personal choice, like you, right? And also, liking something and disliking something to me is more like a preference, like a personal preference. It is not as strong as, like, hatred, those kind of emotions. Like, these are really, really strong emotions, but for dislike or like, it's just like I like eating strawberry flavors or chocolate flavors. It's very personal preference. So yeah, okay, thank you for your comment, Snick. Snick G. I don't know the next word, but so yeah, thank you for your comment. I really appreciate it. It's very interesting how you see it this way. Okay, next one. Next one, I think it's Steve or Stevio. Stevio, that's like Italian, Stevio. Oh, and also the profile picture is like the Mozart, Stevio. Mozart. Is it Mozart? But it reminds me of Mozart though. It doesn't have to be. It's like Mozart or, like no, I think it's Mozart. No, but it could, no, it's not. I was gonna say Beethoven, but then Beethoven doesn't wear red. I feel like Beethoven, he just reminds me of wearing black and then the collar is like up, that face is like that one. It's like the conductor. Anyways, so Stevio, or Steve, you might get more views and subs if you actually interact with your audience. For example, reply to the comments you get or even provide a like to your commenters. Otherwise, your numbers will remain flat. Okay. You might get more views and subs if you actually interact with your audience. I think that's actually like whatever he says, I think I would say is valid because it is something about the algorithm. It's very hard. Early in the morning, my tongue is tied. I took my time to drink the walnut milk. Excuse me. Okay. I find it actually very valid because I'm actually looking at my iPad, okay, guys? So that's why I'm keep looking down. Yes, because this is something about algorithm, and I totally agree. Usually, it's like if you click, it kind of like generates a new, like a feedback response to the entire system, so then it would kind of generate more. And like replying to comments you get, which I'm doing now, okay, so this one is also valid, yes, because I do want to reply to the comments, but I kind of want to reply in a more interesting way, like this one. Or even provide a like to your commenters. Otherwise, your numbers will be flat. Will remain flat. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna cutting this entire comment into 4 sections. So you might get more views and subs if you actually interact with your audience. Valid, I totally agree. For example, reply to the comments you get like now, or even provide a like to your commenters. This is the third part. And then otherwise, fourth part, your numbers will remain fat. Numbers fat. Ooh. Now, first and second is already responded. For the third part, it's like even provide a like to your commenters. Now, why don't I provide likes to the commenters? Now, here's the thing. Is because first thing, I think I would say 3 major points. Here's how I actually perceive this entire community. First thing is that I don't see this personally. I don't see this community or say this channel as a pyramid. Okay, I don't, and I'm actually very conscious of it because I know a lot of, say, organization or any kind of structures that we are exploring right now or experiencing right now surrounding us, okay, is based on hierarchical or say pyramid structure. But I personally don't really resonate with this kind of structure. And it's not that I'm opposing it though, it's just I see it another way. And so that is why I don't choose to embody this kind of, I would say, regulations or this kind of way of doing as relating to the pyramid structure. Why? Because, see, a lot of us would have this mindset or mentality that, say, I'm the host of the channel, right? Here's the fact. The fact and the truth for me is that I don't see myself as the host. I don't see myself as the host for this community. I see myself as the one of you guys who actually just simply holding space. For me, holding space is not the same for a host, because usually we would think it that way, right? Like if I am at the host of a party, then I'm like, you're coming over to my house, something like this, right? However, for me, I'm more like I don't host it. Rather, it's as if I'm like I create a specific cafe, say like a coffee shop dedicated for individuals like you guys to come enjoy, chit chat and discuss, and also have desserts, things like this. I create a space dedicated for this. So I am not really a host. It's just I also love this kind of space, and so I simply hold space. So in this sense, this is not a pyramid structure. This is a sphere structure. Like I'm like this one. It's actually for relaxing a muscle, okay? But it's like I saw a ball. It's more like a sphere structure when it comes to how I perceive the community and how I actually consciously carrying out my actions according to this, like how I perceive it. What's the difference between the sphere structure and the pyramid structure? To me, is that in one of my videos I actually mentioned, I think it's the video that I talk about metaphysics, consciousness, and spirituality, the entire title. In that video, I talk about consciousness. And to me, consciousness is the sphere. Why is it that way? Because I know I'm going really far away as it, but it's going to come back to this, okay? It's going to come back to this comment. The reason is, if I see myself as a pyramid, like a pyramid structure, I am like on the top of this and I'm in control of the lower tiers, the tiers, T-I-E-R, the tiers. To me, I personally don't really resonate with that a lot. However, because to me it's not about control, it's about free flow. And that's how I perceive this community as well, that it's me just simply holding space where people would interact with each other, replying to each other's comment or giving a like. See, it's like, even if I don't like your comment, you have another person liking your comment. This is somebody resonating with you. And this is how it's kind of like you guys find each other, like in a virtual sense, okay? And this is how I see it. It's kind of like I simply hold a space like a coffee shop, and you come into this space, you have a coffee, you have a piece of cake, a piece of cake, huh? And then somebody else joins your table, and then you guys started chatting. This is how I perceive it. Rather than I am the one that is kind of like, do you know why I'm saying this? Because when it comes to pyramid structure, the ones on top who would be seen as the host, they would be the one having control, usually, okay? You guys know what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that this is bad or what, it's just I don't resonate with it. How I also see it is that if in this kind of structure, usually the ones in the lower tiers, okay, the ones in the lower tiers, it's kind of like they want attention from the host, okay? This is the mindset that we are being very programmed into because of society, like surrounding us. Even if you or me, okay, me, work in any kind of organization, or like very hierarchical based structure, is all like this. It's all like different tiers, layers of it, and then go to the top, very top. It's all pyramid structure, and I just don't see it that way. So what do I mean? Then what's the difference between the pyramid structure and the sphere? Is that For sphere structure, for me, it's like, I am one of you. I am simply one of you. I'm your friend. That's what I've been saying. I am one of you. And so I don't want to encourage the mindset of pyramid. That's why I don't like it. Okay? Because I understand a lot of us might have this perspective. I don't know. Please leave a comment below if you do resonate with what I have been saying just now. Is that I encourage conscious individuality in a very interactive way, but very conscious. So that's why I don't necessarily like the comment, but I read all of them. That's the first thing, because to me, how I see it is that when it comes to a sphere structure for building a community, everyone it's like infinite dots. Okay, infinite dots. It keeps expanding, and the expansion comes from the growing of the dots. It could be, right, the growing of the dots, but at the same time, it's because when each of the dot, which means you or another viewer on this channel, as they express and as they personally expand, it actually pervades to the entire sphere. So it's actually not trickling down. It's not trickling down as comparing to the pyramid structure. It's actually pervading to the entire sphere, and it benefits the entire community. That's how I personally see it. So that is why I am one of the dots on this sphere structure as well. And that being said, I'm a person, I'm the kind of friend, and I observe quietly, and I support you in a very passive way. And usually it's in the form of company, like I sit here quietly and be with you like that. So I'm this kind of person, so that's why I also align with my own personality as this, and I choose not to give a heart or give a like, but I read everything. It's like silent company. Okay, yeah, and that's who I am. That's one aspect of myself, and so I would then align myself to this as well. That's the second reason. And so now the fourth part, which is otherwise your numbers will remain flat. There's the third reason, right? So the first reason, upstairs is like blah blah blah. I hope you guys are not hearing it. So the first reason was because of I don't subscribe. I don't really resonate with pyramid structure, so I do not encourage that kind of mentality. And because I am consciously trying to explore as well, and also create a sphere structure for the channel, I'm also experiencing it or experimenting on it. And then the second reason is because my personality wise, I'm the kind of silent observer and the passive supporter as in company. Okay, third reason is about numbers, because I don't I'm not the numbers, but the reason behind this is because I value so much of quality over quantity. I value, okay, I hope you guys are hearing, because upstairs is very loud. I'll put the mic closer. So because I value quality over quantity, and to me, quantity is just a result of quality, and I prioritize quality, and so I would choose to focus or allocate my energy and time on creating quality creations rather than focusing on the numbers, because I know the numbers would just naturally follow or manifest itself in however ways as according to how I deliver in what kind of quality. So that's the reason. So yeah. Okay, so that's Bobby. Thank you, Steve or Stevio, Mozart guy. Mozart guy. that was my Mozart. For your comment, I really appreciate it. And